so difficult doing one hand.
All right, let's get to it. Hey everybody, welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Michael, and today I'm going to answer a few questions people have had for me about my turbocharged BRZ. Is it worth turbocharging? How reliable is it actually? And is it really worth it? Does it really give you that much enjoyment out of it? And I can't wait to tell you and share some of my experience with you guys today. So if you're new here, thank you so much for watching this video, and let me just give you a bit of a rundown on my BRZ. I bought it 2.5 years ago at 79,000 miles, complete stock, bare bones, nothing on it. Every modification that's on this car now, I put on, and every other mile after that, I put on myself. Now, get into when I turbocharged it. I turbocharged it around 114,000 miles, which is kind of crazy because you hear a lot of horror stories about, oh, my turbocharged BRZ FRS blew up around 5,000 miles later of turbocharging it at 60,000 miles. So people were like, you're gonna turbocharge a very high mile BRZ? Yeah, if it blows up, that's my fault. I did it to the car. So first, I'm just get right into it. Reliability. How reliable has this car been in the last 16,000 miles I've had it turbocharged? Because I just hit 130 yesterday. So, reliability, haven't had a problem at all. The car hasn't given me any issues other than ones that I've caused myself. And then parts that weren't even part of the turbocharger kit. Like my Omni 4-bar sensor that measures boost went out on me. But that wasn't the actual turbocharger kit. That was just a sensor, which Omni aren't really the greatest boost sensors in the first place. So other than that, reliability, it's been perfectly fine. And I beat on it like crazy. Sure, I'm not throwing, 450 wheel horsepower at the car, but I'm still around 300, low 300. So I'm pushing the car to its absolute limit every time I drive it, because that's just how I drive my cars. I drive cars how they should be. Reliability, what I would encourage people to do for reliability. So, oil cooler, first and foremost. The turbocharger gets this oil incredibly hot now that it has to run somewhere else. It's running through a very high-speed application, being the turbocharger itself. So get an oil cooler. You're gonna need it. Trust me, I had the oil cooler. Before I had the oil cooler, I had oil running at 250 in like an 85-degree day, which isn't even that hot here in Florida. So yeah, I definitely had to stop the car, let it cool down, and then go on my way. And I ordered an oil cooler immediately afterwards. Don't cheap out. Get a really nice quality oil cooler, because I went with one that was kind of quality, and I really paid for it. So it's not worth it. Spend the extra $100, $200 to get a really quality oil cooler that will last you and won't give you issues like it did me. Second, I'd probably get a catch can, just because you're running a lot more pressure through the crankcase, so it's going to be shooting out a lot more oil. Also, BRZs aren't made for turbocharged applications. Like, they weren't OEM like that. So they're going to be pushing a lot more pressure and a lot more oil through the crankcase into the PCV valve and then into your intake manifold, which you don't want that. So either do it, take your PCV, vent it to atmosphere, and block off your intake manifold, or just get a catch can. It's just simple, it's reliable, and it looks nice in your car. Thirdly, if you aren't running it, run E85 just for cooler fueling cycles. Because it helps cool down your car since you're running through more cycles efficiently and reducing the amount of engine knock you have at higher RPM. It just makes the car feel better, it performs better, and you aren't running into, incredibly high temps because of, whatever octane you have, 91, 92, or 93. Next up, I want to get into practicality. How practical is it to daily a turbocharged BRZ or FRS? And I daily this car. I drive it to the gym. Every day I go to the gym, I drive it to the store, anywhere that isn't work, because I have another daily for that, I drive it. And I'm racking up miles. I'm driving this constantly. I'm going up to Tampa constantly. I'm driving this up and down, and I haven't really had problems with it. The practicality part of it, having, like I mentioned previously, an oil cooler to keep the oil cool, when the temperatures get really hot, and having a space for your intercooler to actually breathe from, making sure nothing's blocking it in the grill. That's just practicality. Haven't had a problem with it. Tries perfectly fine. And then when you're, driving on the street and somebody kind of comes up to you wanting to race you, you don't have to like, oh, I left my race car at home. No, you're driving your race car. It's still a great daily, regardless of, turbocharging it and taking away a lot of the reliability of it. Lastly, I'm gonna do like, I'll say how fun it is, and then I'm kind of gonna give you kind of a price range of how much it's gonna be. So fun wise, it's worth it. If you really want to make your BRZ more fun, turbocharge it, or your FRS turbocharge it. It's worth it. There's like nothing you can do to the car more than turbocharge it that'll get you, enjoyment out of it. I mean, unless you want to engine swap it, but that's up to you. Then you shouldn't want to be turbocharging the engine. But if you really want more fun in this car, turbocharge it. The amount of enjoyment I get out of this car constantly from it being turbocharged, I mean, the sounds, the speed, the way it surprises other people, I mean, amazing, absolutely amazing. Now, when it comes to costs, depending on the turbocharged kit that you get, or if you manufacture one yourself, it can get a little pricey. So the main one people get is the JDL design kit, because it's quality, it's effective, and it looks really, really nice. You won't have any problems with it cracking at the welds, you won't have any fitment issues. I mean, it's pricier for the quality you're paying for it. So if you aren't really about price and that doesn't really bother you, go with the JDL kit. Now, if you're kind of more on a budget, Greddy offers a kit, and then Speed by Design offers a kit, which is the one I have in my car. Now, both of those are internally wastegated, so leave that up to you. Greddy has stopped making the kits because of EPA issues. Speed by Design, you can still find them, and Greddy, you can also still find them other places. People still have them in their storehouses, or you can get a secondhand like I did with my kit. I got my Speed by Design kit for $1,000 and some traded items off of my BRZ, and that was a fantastic trade. As much as I wanted to wait to turbocharge it, I couldn't let that slide. I couldn't just let the deal pass away. So I ended up getting the Speed by Design kit. Now, if you don't know, I ended up cracking the welds on the headers. I like to shoot flames a lot. Heat and metal, hot metal aren't really the best too. So there is a flex pipe right under the header on the runners from the engine, and a weld right there cracked, and the BRZ is not happy about it. It senses the exhaust leak, so I'll have to get that fixed, of course. But I haven't really had any other issues with the Speed by Design kit other than that. So fitment was, pretty okay. I had no other foreseeable issues other than that. Now, there are also turbo kits and supercharger kits for the BRZ, but if you're gonna go, I would just turbocharge it. Supercharging a 4-cylinder, yeah, you can do it, but you're gonna get more fun out of it with a turbocharger than a supercharger personally. That's just my opinion. But if you want to supercharge it, go right ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. There's, Edelbrock sells a really nice kit. A lot of people go for it, and that's about it. Have fun with it. So actually, price-wise, expect to spend like $6,500 to $7,500. The kit usually runs around $35 to $45 depending on which kit you end up getting, and then supporting mods like injectors, a fuel pump, ethanol sensor, or oil coolers, an air oil separator, or a catch can. It can get a bit pricey. Plus, if you really go up and push that power, you're gonna need a new clutch if you're a manual BRZ. It's gonna happen. I have the stock clutch in, and I really I regret it. So that's around the price you'll be expecting to pay. And then if you want to get a built bottom end or get a full long block build, then it gets increasingly pricier, but that's for any engine, of course. If I could redo my BRZ, would I still turbocharge it? 100%, because the enjoyment that I've gotten from this car has been unmatched in the past year. Of course, I've had some issues that were ultimately my fault for being lazy, but other than that, the problems I've had with that, no. 100%, if I could turbocharge my BRZ once again, I would. Now, get you a little bit of a turbo sound just to get a little sound comparison and just see if you would really like it. I just got kicked out of the spot I was filming at, and it's really bright out and I can't see a thing. But I think I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you so much everybody for watching this video. If you want a Turbo BRZ or FRS, I hope I was able to just explain to you some of the stuff that an owner kind of goes through, especially on like a daily driver. Or if you just wanted to know what it was like to own one, hopefully I was able to answer some of your questions too. The next video should be a car review. I can't see. But it should be a car review. Hopefully I can get him interviewed soon and he'll be able to get it in the video with me. But anyways, sorry for the awkward ending, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.